After over 80 months of virtual events and new modus operandi imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic, we are back in Frankfurt, Germany for the long-awaited 2021 in-person Formnext edition. The family reunion features exhibitors from 35 countries and for the first time a European nation as partner country, Italy. We have been following these exhibitors during the 4 days of the show, and trust me, there's a lot to see, there's a lot to print, to touch and to explore. We've observed throughout the show that most manufacturers that are unveiling their 3D printers here focus on the use of additive manufacturing for end-use production. We are currently at XYZ printing booth, and I'm going to ask Fernando what he thinks about it. So Fernando, on this show we are observing that most manufacturers here unveil products that focus on direct use of additive manufacturing for end-use production. Does that make tooling less relevant?
Okay, I will say that it is true nowadays that is the trend, and it's obvious that it really offers much advantages in regarding of flexibility, productivity, and flexibility to the businesses to handle the local production. So I don't want to say that this is replacing tooling, but this is definitely creating the new market. And tooling will still remain as a main function for mass production, but additive manufacturing has many things to say in the first bracket of not only prototyping but the small batch production runs.
Thank you very much, Lou. So this is XYZ Printing's belief with regards to this question. Let's see how other manufacturers feel about that. So we just got XYZ Printing stance one with regards to the current use of AM in the production environment. So let's see what Nexat 3D actually thinks about it. So Matt, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to see you
Same to you.
Show. So Matt, we came to realize that throughout the show there are a variety of manufacturers that actually showcase solutions for end-use productions. So we were thinking, does that make tooling less relevant for industrial?
Absolutely. I think with the advancements in technology today, we're seeing better and better results from the resins and the technology available. And this is across the show. Models and printing is getting more precise and more repeatable and faster. And here at Nexat 3D, one thing we specialize in is speed and accuracy.
Yeah.
So our new technology is 50 micron accuracy and can print extremely quickly. We believe we're leading the way for manufacturing and allowing people to simplify the supply chain by being able to build parts in-house quickly and efficiently.
Oh, that's good. Great. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. So now we are going to see another trend that is very important for manufacturing as well. And for that, we are going to move to another booth to see how companies actually address this topic. So when we talk about 3D printers, when we talk about additive manufacturing machines, we cannot really do so without emphasizing on metal 3D printing applications. And in the midst of all 3D printers manufacturers that we can find on such an industry, even AMCM is really one of a kind. The company manufactures additive manufacturing machines on demand. Actually, their name stands for Additive Manufacturing Customized Machines. So I decided to stop by their booth to discuss with Martin, which is here. Thank you, Martin, for taking the time to speak with me. So Martin, I know there are a lot of challenges in manufacturing, metal 3D printed parts. But if you had to choose just one or two, what would you say?
Yes, of course, I would choose to do customized stuff because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
But actually, the main challenge of the whole industry, no matter whether it's metal 3D printing or FDM or anything,
yeah,
we have to bring down cost per part.
Yeah.
Because we love to talk about manufacturing, but we have to open the door. And it only works if we have more manufacturing applications, and that's what we need. So let's bring down cost per part via automation, faster machines, faster processes, more reliable, and we got it going.
Okay, great. So yeah, so let's bring down cost per part to enable more applications in the additive manufacturing. And
yes,
speaking about applications,
we talk about applications all the time.
Yeah, that's right. But here on the show, we are showing a very great part. We are seeing a very great part.
That's a cool part because that part actually helps that we all can communicate better.
Yeah.
Because this part will actually launch small satellites so we can send around videos and a lot more data, and that's for this part.
Thank you very much, Martin.
Thank you.
So that was Martin's standpoint regarding metal 3D printing application and the use of additive manufacturing in all vertical industries. Guillaume, is material availability still a challenge in your field of activity?
Well, in ceramic 3D printing, clearly there's still some issues with material that industrials would like to print and which are not available. Clearly, if we were able to print, I don't know, silicon carbide or piezoelectric materials or other functional ceramics, there would be great application to unlock. But for the moment, these materials are not available on the market. This is why we're trying to address at NanoE by developing ceramic filaments. We want both to make ceramic printing easy and affordable, but we also want to diversify the portfolio of material available for 3D printing. And typically, first semester of 2022, we're launching a silicon carbide filament, and pure silicon carbide is still a material that is not available for 3D printing in general. So we really hope this will unlock some new application for the industry.
And what is NanoE launching on Formnext today?
So at NanoE, we develop under our brand Zetamix a line of ceramic and metal filaments, and also some systems to use these filaments with printers and furnaces. And at Formnext we are announcing the launch of the silicon carbide filaments, but we're also showing our more traditional filaments, which are alumina, zirconia for ceramics, and stainless steel and tool steel for metals.
Thank you. Pierre-Antoine, what are the latest developments Kimia is bringing to Formnext this year?
So of course Kimia is presenting its range of materials, filaments that we specifically developed for the additive manufacturing technology. Among this range we have recycled materials, and with our last PETG-R, which is a recycled material. And of course we are presenting our Kimia factory service, which is a production of final parts for industrialists.
Great, thank you. So, Carlos, our automation of 3D printed parts has fed several discussions at the post-processing level. How far can we go to enhance this process?
Great question. The problem being there are so many levels of automation that you can talk about in additive manufacturing.
Correct.
So you could talk about increasing the automation in terms of how we set the parameters for dyeing or the parameters for vapor smoothing. You can automate all those aspects, and I believe some of the companies around here are actually working towards that kind of level of automation. The thing that what we're doing here in the background is also automation on terms of workflow. So everything that's been printed, the part is cleaned, then you can identify parts, and once you can identify parts, you can automate all the movements of singular parts on the work floor to individual workstations, whether it's dyeing, vapor fusing, chemical treatments. And we can track and trace these individual parts with this system. And that is one level of automation that will potentially help not just being more efficient, but because people are doing the job now, you can take those people out of that system and make the whole system much more cost effective. And I think that's what automation needs to do, is drive the price per part, drive that one down. And if we're able to do that as an industry, we'll be creating much more volume, yes, much more business cases that are viable for additive manufacturing, because that's what we're looking at, applications that become viable as a business case.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you very much, Kelly.
So we are not going to see what other companies think about automation in the manufacturing process of 3D printed parts. So Ian Flo was saying earlier that we can tackle automation at various levels of the manufacturing process. Let's see what Andreas is thinking about this question. So Andreas, automation automation has fed several discussions at the manufacturing level, especially at the post-processing level. How far can we go to enhance this process?
So from our point of view, it depends why you want to do more automation. Is it because of safety, as the work can be very risky? For example, we are handling explosive materials. Is it because the complexity of the parts gets so high that manual depowering, in our example, is getting too complicated as the operator does not know how the inside of the part looks? Or is it about mass production? And I think for each of these issues or tasks, we have different solutions. So safety, of course, we have a full automated process under safe conditions. So we have for human safety, we have filtration systems. We also are running our system under inert conditions in case the material reacts explosive.
Correct.
And we also have that if the parts get complex. So we have intelligent software that detects internal channels and knows how to move the part. We have a comprising sensor system to see all the conditions in the machine so that you have reproducible cleaning results and know that everything is repeatable. So a complete comprising quality report is also very important for that. And if it goes to mass production, we can offer, like we already have, machines that are integrated in holistic production chains with robot loading and so on and on. So for each systems we have solution, and it hardly depends why you want to do automation.
Thank you very much, Andrea. So it means that in general, automation is already a very challenging topic, and at the post-processing level, the challenge is even bigger, as there are several items to take into account to actually address this topic. Is that what?
Yes. The moment many of these steps are done manually, they can have good quality and they can be made in a certain area, but in our case, I think that automation, like we can provide it today, helps a lot for safety and automated.
Thank you, Andreas. Thank you. So AM Solutions is unveiling 3 products on the fair today. Could you please tell us more about these products and how they are going to address additive manufacturing challenges faced by users?
Of course. So we have one product dedicated, developed for metal users.
Yes.
Our S1 Wet, a wet blasting solution to post-process metal parts. But we have also 2 products for polymer powder bed based parts, like our S2
Yes.
for mass production, fully automizable, and also our C2, our liquid color smoothing solution, which allows MJF users a new focus on a bright range of shiny colors.
All right, thank you. So here's the thing, we cannot talk about hardware materials without talking about software. The software segment for additive manufacturing is very wide, it's very complex, and I have to be honest, I do not have the technical skills to actually discuss it. So I decided to stop by at Additive Flow's booth to ask Alexander where the market is headed at this level.
Thank you, Katie. You're very humble as always.
Oh, thank you.
And so I think, if we're looking at kind of what the software's supposed to do, it's supposed to help engineers achieve their goals, right? That's from design to production to addressing material properties across all the variables that there are to be decided. And I see the market is moving towards this convergence, engineering convergence, sort of like a one step or one platform to resolve all of those questions.
Okay, so does that mean that at the end, engineers are going to have one platform for all the different steps that actually need to be taken to produce a part?
So I see that's kind of where the industry is moving towards, so an engineer can come into a unified platform, and that's kind of what we're trying to also do here at Additive Flow, which is to enable engineers to go from design to production and all of these different scales of decisions in one step, or at least a series of steps that can be integrated together.
All right, okay, thank you very much, Alex.
My absolute pleasure, Kate.
So now we're going to talk about other organizations that can leverage AM just to provide value-added services to industrials. And for that, the first company that we are going to see is Materialize. So we've seen a lot of things on this show. We've seen hardware, we've seen software, we've seen materials, but I'm just a Materialize booth and I'm discovering Materialize Manware Consultancy. What is it, Crystal?
Well, exactly. You have hardware, software, materials. Even Materialize as a company is an expert in all of these domains.
Yeah.
We have that, a big printing part, we have a lot of software, a lot of engineering, yet it's not enough. What Materialize Minder is about the great minds, the expertise and the consultancy we bring to the table, some kind of like the glue where we drive clients from A to Z in their additive adoption journey.
Okay.
Because it is really complicated and it's not a plug-and-play story. And I think with our consultancy, we really guide clients through this complexity and make sure the momentum is kept. We also take into account the intangibles like change management, the business case, and thinking things through before investing in hardware, materials, and equipment that might not be the right one for the application and the business goals.
All right. Thank you very much, Crystal.
Very welcome.
All right. So companies you may have seen, have a lot of different options if they want to adopt additive manufacturing. So now it's just up to them to decide which option best meets their need. Is it investing in equipment? Is it going for an additive manufacturing consultancy? So it's really up to you to decide what you should do actually to adopt additive manufacturing for your production applications. So, Alexander, what are the different items, the other items industrials should take into account in a production environment?
Yes, of course, they should also take care on airborne substances flying around, like from powders and so on. And as you have seen, maybe also during Corona time, the coronavirus, people are now sensibilized due to airborne substances, and we have the same nanoscaling range with powders flying around. So I always have to take care on health and safety aspects in your working environment.
Yeah, correct. And how does ULT do that?
Yeah, we offer solutions with air filtration systems to ensure a safe working environment. That's what we're doing.
Yes, thank you very much, Alexander. Here we are finally on Friday, the final day of Formnext 2021. So this was a really, really great event from outside. But let's see what Sasha thinks about it. So good morning, Sasha.
Good morning, Katie.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to speak with us this morning. So how was it for you, the Messager team, the Formnext team, to organize such a great event in the COVID-19 landscape?
Yeah, as you can imagine, it was really a big and a tough challenge.
Yeah.
Because regularly when you organize an event like Formnext, it's already, a huge workload all over the year.
Of course.
But what's really what happened to all of us, it's you need to adapt nearly every day to a new situation and to new regulations.
Yeah, that's right.
And then to keep on track, to stay on track, to have a good communication with the customers, with the exhibitors and towards the visitors, and then have the right information on the right time and on the right day.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
It can be stressful.
And it's stressful for the team, and also you always live in a kind of lack of information, and are you doing the right things?
Yeah, that's
right.
But
as you see, finally it happened.
Yeah.
It was possible for us to make it happen, and now it's a big relief.
Yeah, I understand. Is there anything else that you would have done differently?
But that's nearly for every show we do a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But we did really, together with our exhibitor advisory board, extremely good decisions. For example, 8 or 10 weeks ago, we decided to go to the 2G concept for the entry to the fair, which means only vaccinated and recovered people are allowed to come inside. That gave us really, let's say, a very high level of security, and it brought up an atmosphere you experienced the last days.
Okay.
And everybody was still very disciplined. Companies, some wear masks, some didn't wear masks because it is not mandatory.
Yes, I know. But
we are very cautious and looking on each other. So and a lot of flexibility to be very patient and flexible and to deal with this situation. Because finally, like us meeting again, everybody was so happy seeing each other.
Right, that's right. Yeah, well, maybe my last question will be, what can we expect from 2022?
Yeah, we really look forward that we go through this pandemic situation somehow, and that we learn how to deal with it, and that now everybody really knows how a show can be organized under these circumstances, and therefore I'm really optimistic that the situation will improve for next year, and we will have a Formnext again, seeing each other again.
That's good. Thank you very much, Sasha.
Thank you.
So this was Sasha's point of view on the final day of the event. Now we just hope that everybody here go back home very safely, and then we look forward to meeting the entire AM community again next year at Formnext in Frankfurt, Germany. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.